All right, everybody, what is going on? It's your boy Town Biz. So I thought I'd do a 10 to 15 minute boxing video depending on how I feel. But you know, I haven't did a boxing live stream in a minute, and it appears to be a lot going on in boxing. You got some fights coming up, you know. Um, July is stacked with fights. There's gonna be some fights in June. Um, you got Caleb Plant coming up pretty much in a week and some change and stuff. So, but I wanted to talk about in particularly a fight that seems to be up in the air about will or will not this fight happen. And it appears to be that Terrence Crawford versus Canelo appear to be, at odds. You seem to have had a change up. You may have a possible change of venue. The date has already been changed. So, you know, I'm starting to think this fight is in jeopardy. And I think they prematurely announced fight because it seems like nothing is set in stone, you know. Um, so you're just starting to wonder this fight going to happen. I hope it happens. I really do. I would like for this fight to happen now. At first, I wasn't too keen on it because I didn't like Terrence Crawford's chances based off the fact that he would be given so didn't a little bit. He didn't want to give nothing away to Terrence Crawford. He didn't want to meet him. I know he can't meet him halfway as far as weight goes, but this is supposed to be for undisputed at 168. But you're just hearing a lot of things behind the scenes, and you starting to have not a whole bunch of doubt about Turkey Al Sheikh, but some doubts. You starting to wonder, do he got the right people? You starting to wonder, do he got the right people advising him? So that's what I'm wondering. Who's advising Turkey Al Sheikh? Does he got true boxing heads advising him who know the ins and outs of the sport? Because yeah, you can throw a lot of money around, but if you don't know how to throw that money and put it in the right places and spaces, then you're just going to lose a shitload of money and don't see nothing in return. And I understand what Turkey is trying to do, but it needs to make sure that stuff is tight, and it doesn't seem to be tight. You're just hearing a lot of different things. So I'm starting to wonder, is this fight going to actually happen? Now you're hearing about this fight taking place in Saudi Arabia instead of Las Vegas as it was originally planned. So now, once again, do we have a fight or not a fight? And I just want to say something. I know this Ellie setback seems to be obsessed with Devin Haney because he just keeps going to everybody. Oh, what do you think of Devin Haney's fight? Like, bro, no, I'm not gonna call you bro because you're not a bro. You've been acting like a hoe for the last X amount of years with Bill Haney and stuff. And Bill tried to squash this stuff with you. At the end of the day, for people to continue to put this all on Devin Haney for his performance is just complete bullshit. And somebody just need to say it. Ellie is obsessed with Devin Haney. It's like you're antagonating. It's like you're instigating. You're trying to get people to criticize him. You're initiating a conversation by attacking Devin Haney. You're not asking an opinion, you're instigating. You've been doing this for a while, Ellie, and people can see what you're doing. And it's just time somebody called you out, bro. You need to knock this stuff out. You got a vendetta against Bud. You got a vendetta against, Devin Haney. You take two people to tango. It's always the brother's fault. So, Jose Ramirez is just as much to blame as that fight being a dud as Devin Haney. And then Canelo had an even worse fight, but then Ellie isn't fixated on that. Canelo threw and landed less punches than Devin, but he's just fixated on Devin Haney. Like, come on, bro, move on from this stuff. Like, you wake up in the morning thinking about Devin Haney. It's kind of weird, and it just got to be said. And Bill, he appears to have a plan in place. He has a list of fighters that Devin Haney may possibly get in the ring with. One thing about Devin Haney, win, lose, or draw, he'll fight anybody. He's willing to fight anybody. And, Oscar De La Hoya definitively said that there will not be a Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia rematch. Why is that, Oscar? Because Ryan looked so terrible based on the fact that he got outboxed by Rolly. He looked horrible. He lost the fight. He got dominated. He got dropped. All, you know, all Ryan had to do his part, which is win and look and wrestle winning. He was supposed to knock Rolly out. He damn near got knocked out by Rolly. Rolly took away his will. He took away his heart. He snatched it. He snatched it out of his body. But then it just goes to show you that Ryan Garcia ain't shit without those roids. Now we know for sure it was the PEDs. And people still want to play these games like they're stupid, like they didn't know that those PEDs made all the difference in the world. They played a big part in his victory. Now all of a sudden he has to take random drug tests. He don't have the power. He doesn't look the same. Body looks totally different. So, but you got people trying to insult your intelligence and they just want to downplay what happened. And I laugh at the fact that Oscar De La Hoya is trying to downplay when Oscar De La Hoya was a shrewd negotiator. Oscar would stipulate you to death. You see, he made Floyd wear those Mickey Mouse gloves when they fought. Oscar got to pick everything, but then people say, hey, he was the A side. Okay, whatever. Like I said before, I can't remember who it was, but there was a fight Oscar was going to have with somebody. They wanted to use Gatorade in between rounds, and Oscar, bitch whined and moaned about it. And like I said, a lot of these people that's been dogging out Devin Haney, they don't know nothing about boxing, and they're just a bunch of pansy-ass goofballs. Some of them are racist. Then the black ones, they're just cowards and they're sambos. And then some people just clueless about boxing. To sit up there and try to act like Devin Haney is the first fighter to ever sue another fighter is just absurd. Like I said, they just don't do proper research. They don't do due diligence. So, but I understand stupid is, stupid does. That's from the classic movie Forrest Gump. But yeah, getting back to this Bud and Canelo thing, I'm just starting to wonder if this fight is really gonna happen. I'm just seeing all the signs in the world that they are far between from this fight being official. I think they prematurely announced this fight with without everything being set in stone. I mean, like a weekend, some change later, you heard about the date being changed. Then they had already put tickets on sale. So what about the people, that bought tickets? So are you going to return these people's money? So that's what I'm saying. And I've been making phone calls. I've been talking to people. So people were like, the fight's going to happen or not. So like, moving from Las Vegas to across the water to Saudi. When they had this thing set in stone that it was supposed to take place in Las Vegas. They running into a lot of brick walls. And they don't got you know what I'm saying? They running into a lot of brick walls that they can't basically crash through. They can't knock them down. So that's the problem. What's going on? Is this fight going to happen? Isn't or is not this fight going to happen? Is or isn't? Let us know what's going on. Can we get some answers? But like I said, Turkey, he need to really align himself with boxing minds. Like I said, I think he made a mistake trying to sign a deal with Dana White. Dana White doesn't know the ins and outs of boxing. He's an MMA guy. Okay. Dana White cannot come into boxing thinking he's going to run boxing the way he runs UFC. If so, he's terribly wrong and he's already on a path to nowhere. He's going to fail miserably. You're not gonna be able to come at established boxers the way you come at those MMA fighters where you are the sole purpose of everything, where everything goes through you. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work at all. So I'm just letting that be known. But I'll keep you guys posted. I'll definitely keep you guys posted on what's going on. I'm talking to people every day. I'm trying to make sure I have the proper information to relate to you guys. I'm on the job. I'm on my job and then I'm on the job. So just stay tuned. Anyway, I'm out.